Hello everyone, welcome back to the course Organizational Behavior for Business. So in the last class, I had discussed about the nature as well as the scope for organizational behavior. So you can just see in the description box link for that particular video. So in today's session, I'll be discussing more on the contributing disciplines to organizational behavior field as well as the approaches to organization behavior. So when we say contributing disciplines, we all know that, right? Organization behavior is an applied behavioral science that is built on the contributions from number of various behavioral disciplines, right? Like sociology, psychology, social psychology, anthropology, political science. So psychology has contributed mainly to individual as well as the micro level of analysis, where other disciplines have contributed to understand the macro concepts such as group process as well as the organization. So once we complete this particular video, surely students will be analyzing, they'll be able to analyze the role of psychology as well as social psychology in predicting the individual behavior and how it impacts in improving individual as well as the organizational performance. And you can also apply the sociological concepts in understanding the group dynamics as well as the functioning and how it affects on the organizational effectiveness, right? So you can interpret the organizational culture from anthropological perspective as well as apply its methodology to understand the formation of organization culture. It can be as well as its development, right? So all these various disciplines are contributed to the development of organizational behavior. So I'll be explaining in detail about each and every disciplines, how it has been contributed in the field of organizational behavior. As well, we'll be discussing whether various approaches to organization behavior. So how or what are the different approaches, like we are having human resource approach as well as contingency approach and then system approach. So there are different approaches which are affecting organizational behavior also. So those aspects also we'll be studying in today's video. So why let's waste the time, let's get into the video. Hello and welcome back. So in the last video, we had discussed about the nature as well as the scope of organization behavior. So in today's session, I'm just continuing with the module 1, introduction itself. So today we'll be discussing with the contributions of other disciplines to OB. Okay, so which all the different disciplines has been contributed to the organization behavior we'll be going to see in today's video. So when we are saying organization behavior, we know that it is an applied behavior science. Okay, so it is based on contributions from numerous behavioral disciplines. So I'll be explaining each of the disciplines now. So first we are having psychology. So when we say psychology, psychology is concerned with individual behavior and has contributed greatly to the intra-individual dynamics of human behavior. In other words, intrapersonal aspects of human behavior like motivation, personality, perception, attitude, opinion, and learning owe their study to psychology. So we know that, right? Psychology is a behavioral science which studies the behavior of human beings in a specific condition, as well as it predicts how the individual will react in such conditions. So the theories related to the leadership, it can be motivation, individual decision making, attitude, ego state, then learning, personality, job satisfaction. So all these are taken from the psychology itself. So the discipline of psychology has greatly contributed to the field of organizational behavior since it has led to the emergence of the concept of organization psychology itself. So the second discipline is sociology. So sociology, it studies the behavior of people in relation to their fellow human beings. So sociologists have enriched organizational behavior through their contributions to study of interpersonal dynamics like leadership, group dynamics, communication, formal and informal organization, and alike. Now sociology, when we are saying, it is a social science which examines the influence of culture on groups and helps the manager to understand group dynamics, communication, position, authority, as well as conflict resolution, formal organization theory, and group decision making. So sociology also has shaped organization behavior since it studies the human society and people's social stratification. And the next is, third one is socio-psychology. So socio-psychology, as the name itself suggests, it focuses on the influence of people on one another. One of the areas receiving considerable attention from socio-psychology is change, how to reduce resistance to it and implement it successfully. So we know that organizations are a group of people with designated jobs and plays an important role in the developing human behavior. So social psychology is a combination of sociology and the psychology. So it has helped in managing change, communicating, developing skills to sustain the social norms. And the next discipline is anthropology. So it is the study of human race in particular and its culture. So culture has significantly influenced on human behavior. It dictates what people learn and how they behave. So anthropology also plays an important role in shaping organization behavior. So theories of human nature have been used to explain the relationship between human nature and its behavior. So these theories also supplement the explanatory theory in the sociology of the organizations. So what happens in anthropology is it is the applied science that studies human behavior in several cultures and environment to understand the differences between them. So organization behavior teaches about the attitudes and transactional occurring in various cultures. So environmental studies under anthropology helps in understanding the human behavior across cultures so that mergers and acquisitions becomes easier. And the next is political science. So when we are saying political science, the political scientist studies the behavior of individuals and group within a political environment. Specific topics of concern to political scientists include conflict resolution and then group coalition, allocation of power, and how to manipulate power in their self-interest. So political science, so this discipline has influenced organization behavior in several ways. So political science models incorporate the political context in explaining organization behavior in private organizations. So here there is a small chart which shows the different disciplines as well as what all the contributions from those disciplines to the organization behavior, whether it is a focused individual, group, or it is focused in the organization perspective. So we can see here the psychology. So there are different aspects related to the psychology like personality, perception, attitude, learning, motivation, job satisfaction, training, leadership, effectiveness, performance appraisal, employee selection, work design, and work stress. So all these are individual related and that has influence to the study of OB. And then sociology, if you're seeing, it is a group dynamic, communication, leadership, power and politics, conflict, and these are all group related. And then organization structure, formal and informal organization, organization culture, and organizational change. So that is organizations related. So all these contribute to the study of OB. Then socio-psychology, if you are seeing the concepts like behavioral change, attitude change, communication, group processes, group decision making. And then anthropology, the individual culture, organizational environment. And lastly, it is the political science. So from political science, we are having organization, power and politics. And then it is related to the study of organization behavior. So this is how the chart looks like, the major disciplines as well as the contributions to the organization behavior. It's not only these five major disciplines. Apart from that, we have still other disciplines like economics, industrial engineering, and then medicine, and then such as emerging disciplines such as communications. It can be then information system, marketing, women's study. So many other disciplines are also contributing to the organization behavior. So I hope you all understood the concepts in a clear manner. So the next aspect which we are going to study is the approaches to the study of organization behavior. Approaches to the study of organization behavior. So we all know that organization behavior relate to the relationship between employees and employers in an organization. Both are working towards the realization of the goals and objectives of the organization, and a close and fruitful coordination between the two is one of the major factors towards this realization. So organization behavior approaches are result of the research done by the experts in this field. So these experts studied and attempted to quantify research done about the actions and reactions of the employee with regard to their work environment. So it is the field that began developing only recently, and new approaches and results are being expounded every day. As more and more data comes to forefront, there are various aspects of these theories, since each one deals with the complex human behavior. So the most important one are the approaches about the motivation. All of them are aimed towards motivating the members of the organization into optimizing their performance and thereby resulting in a better and more improved performances. So here we are going to discuss about the major approaches to the organization behavior. So here we have 5 different approaches to organization behavior, like a human resource approach, contingency approach, system approach, and productivity approach. So first we'll discuss with the human relation approach. So human relation approach, so the human resource approach is also called as a supportive approach, in the sense that the manager's role changes from control of employees to active support to their growth and performance. So here what happens is, this approach recognizes that human resources is an organizations are the central force, isn't it? So what happens is their development will contribute to the success of the organization. So human resource approach provides for the change in managerial role. It requires that the managers, instead of controlling the employees, should provide active support to them by treating them as a part of the group. So the superiors and the managers should practice a style where workers are given the opportunity and encouragement to perform under loose supervision. By treating individuals as mature adults, and the organization can increase productivity, and at the same time they can meet the needs of the individual for independence and the growth. So human relation approach is a supportive approach. And the second approach is contingency approach. So contingency approach, it assumes that there is no one best way available in any organization. It suggests that in most organizations, situations and outcomes are contingent on or influenced by other variables. So what happens in this particular approach is, it stresses that there is no single way to manage effectively under all circumstances. The method of behaviors which work efficiently in one situation may fail in another. The organization structure and the process of management are governed by the external environment and several aspects of the internal environment. So effective management process will vary in different situations depending on the individuals and groups in the organization. So the nature of job, technology, environment, all these phases, the organization, the problems the organization facing and its structure also. So what happens is the manager's task therefore is to identify which method will in a particular situation under particular circumstance and at a particular time best contribute to the attainment of the organization goals. So the manager will have to analyze each situation prior to the action, and different managerial practice and styles are needed for the effective management. So we can say that there is no one best way available in any organization. That is the concept of contingency approach. And the next approach is system approach. So system approach, according to system approach, an organization system receives 4 kinds of inputs from its environment, that is material, human, financial and informational. The organization converts these inputs into products or services, employee behavior, profits or losses and additional information and supplies these to the environment. So the system approach is of the view that an organization is powerful system with several subsystems which are highly and closely interconnected. Any action taken to solve the problems in one subsystem will have the effect on the other subsystem as well. So since all the parts of the organization are closely connected, thus this approach gives the manager a way of looking at the organization as a whole group and a whole social system. So system approach has become an integral part of the modern organization theory. So organization are termed as a complex systems comprising of interrelated and interlocking system. So according to this system, an organization receives several inputs from the environment and then these inputs are processed so that they produce the final output in terms of products and services. So this is about the system approach. And the fourth approach is productivity approach. So productivity approach, when we are saying it is which is the ratio of output to that of the input, is a measure of an organization's effectiveness. It also reveals the manager's efficiency in optimizing resources utilization. The higher the numerical value of the ratio, the greater the efficiency. So productivity means the numerical value of the ratio of output to input. So higher the value of this ratio, the greater will be the efficiency and the effectiveness of the management. So the traditional concept of productivity was concerned with the economic inputs and the output only. But nowadays, human and social inputs and outputs are equally important. So what happens is productivity, a significant part of the organization behavior decisions, is recognized and discussed extensively. These decisions relate to the human, social and economic issues. For example, it is better organization behavior can reduce workers' turnover or the number of absentees. A human output or benefit occurs. So that's about the productivity approach. And the last approach is interactionism. So interactionism, when we are saying, so this approach attempts to explain how people select, interpret and change various situations. It should be noted that an individual and the situation are presumed to interact continuously. This interaction is what determines an individual's behavior. So here what happens is, in this approach, it focuses more on the social interactions in a specific situations. It attempts to explain how people will be selecting, interpreting and changing various situations. It also highlights on how status affects both individual and organization behavior. So it is based on cause and effect relationship. It suggests that job changes help employee to improve their attitude, whereas attitude influence how people perceive their jobs. So this approach is slow and steady motion, but views more promising ideas for future development. I hope these were the 5 different approaches for organization behavior, and everyone would have understood this in a clear manner. So thank you for patiently listening, and hopefully we'll be seeing in the next video related to the last few concepts of the module 1. Thank you once again.